Welcome everybody to Prep Point. I am Lilian Garcia and I'm so excited because I get to introduce to you the newest fighters that are going to be stepping into the 2021 cage of the Professional Fighters League. And today's guest is not only an MMA fighter, but also has a career in pro wrestling, which I know a little thing or two about.
That's right, Lillian. He's entering the PFL's light heavyweight division. He's got 10-7 record in MMA, and he's got one of the best workout pages in all of Instagram. You should absolutely follow him. Please give it up for our next guest.
So you know what? Without further ado, let me introduce to you someone who's going to be in the light heavyweight division. It's Filthy Tom Lawlor. Welcome.
Thank you, Lillian. I'm very happy to be here. I'm glad the fans are excited to have me here on Prep Point. I can hear them from their own houses. I can hear the audience cheering for me, and I can't wait to get in that PFL cage. Whenever it happens, believe me, I'm going to be ready.
Before I get to talk to you about what it's like to be in the PFL so far, I have to know, because I have had a lot of nicknames that I have introduced throughout the years. What does Filthy stand for?
Well, I mean, honestly, more than anything at this point, Lillian, it's just a way of life. After 37 years, it's taken a hold of its own. Originally, I was the Mauler, Tom Lawlor, for a very short time because, why not? Why not have a rhyming nickname? Unfortunately, there was a fight in which I lost, and I said, look, I was mauled in that fight. So in good conscience, I can't call myself the Filthy Mauler anymore. And then it just became Filthy Tom. So
you're a veteran in MMA now. You've been in this game for a long time. Mindset-wise, do you think that definitely helps you as well? Because adversity is part of this game.
Yeah. Myself, I've been through some terrible situations throughout my MMA career. I think over the past 5 years, I've been in the cage 2 or 3 times, depending on when you want to start that time clock. Having to deal with those things, I guess what's one more year?
All right, well, you said it, though. You haven't competed a lot in MMA in many years. And so this season, as far as the fact that it is a regular season, you got the playoffs, championship, so you have the potential of having to fight 5 fights in a year. How, mindset-wise, do you look at that?
During my first month as a professional fighter, I had 3 fights in that time. I had 2 fights in 1 week at one point. I fought on a Tuesday, then I fought on a Saturday. I was on the Ultimate Fighter, which, I fought one day and then I fought a few days later. And, you mentioned earlier my professional wrestling career over the past few years. I'm on the road virtually all the time. So, having to compete with a short turnaround, it doesn't bother me. I did that throughout wrestling when I was younger. So I don't think it's something that's going to affect me.
But I know that you have also done where you've had an MMA fight and just 2 weeks prior, you had a wrestling match, Chicago street fight, kendo sticks, chairs. Are you crazy? I can't imagine you thinking of doing that next season. I mean, will it be just MMA?
I made a decision that when I'm fighting for the PFL, it's going to be I'm fighting for the PFL. I have 1 shot left. That's how I look at it in my career. I've been fighting now. My first fight was 2003. So it's been 17 years that I've been involved in mixed martial arts in some capacity. So to me, the PFL is where I'm ending my career.
Hey, breaking news, the fact that you're going to leave it all on the mat. I think that's great to know that that's where it's at, because you've always wanted to be in MMA, you said, and then pro wrestling. What was the deal with having both of them in your life, and which one means the most to you?
My love is combat sports, whether it's mixed martial arts, whether it's professional wrestling, whether it's kickboxing. When I was 11 or 12, I saw the second UFC, and that was something that most people had never seen, and it captured my attention. The small storylines that are created with the fighters, there's just something about it. It's amazing to me, and it really is the best sport in the world. And it's all combined. It's all one thing: boxing, kickboxing, wrestling. It's all about selling conflict between two people, and I'm here for all of it.
And you mentioned just now representing like a country and what that means, a fighter and what they can do. Emiliano Sordi did that, and you have the potential to be facing him. So how does that feel? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that I would be, like rooting for in most ways. I love, I believe he's from Argentina.
Yeah.
Right. I love fighters from, various different countries from all over the world. I've been a fan of mixed martial arts promotions in Finland, South Korea. I've been on the internet martial arts scene for 20 plus years. And a lot of times you can find like these obscure events. A lot of times that was all you were going to find was obscure events with fighters from random countries. And I always found myself rooting for the people who they weren't from Brazil. They weren't from the US. Emiliano might've had 5, 6 good days out of 365 that we saw last year. And my job is to make sure that my 5 days next year are better than his.
It looks like you have picked up things from wrestling. I mean, you incorporate it into your entrances, which I think it's fun. It brings fun into MMA, which I love, a lot of energy, those kind of antics. I want to know 2 things. Number one, have you always had like big personality? Because I remember when I interviewed Stone Cold Steve Austin, Seth Rollins, Dave Bautista, they all talked about how shy they were as kids, and yet how wrestling got them out of that shyness. I can never imagine you shy, but I could never imagine them shy either. Like, were you always this full of life?
Yeah, I don't remember a time where I would be considered a shy kid. The wrestlers and especially the fighters that I was drawn to were the fighters who brought in aspects of professional wrestling, whether it was just like Ken Shamrock wearing a purple cape and purple tights, that was different than what the other martial arts guys were wearing. So, hey, that drew me in. Probably my favorite all-time fighter, besides myself, of course, is Kazushi Sakuraba. Genki Sudo is another one of my favorites. And the things that they did were they would do crazy entrances, either to pop the crowd and, get them on their side, or a lot of times Genki Sudo was trying to make some sort of point. Or like a political reference in his entrances. So there was always something about the people who brought a little bit more flair to the table. You mentioned like Stone Cold and Seth Rollins and some of the other wrestlers saying that they're more, wrestling has kind of brought their personality out. Like, I feel that I'm more shelled up a lot of times when I'm wrestling because I'm used to the real life combat. You don't have to create drama in a fight, you know? And in a wrestling match, you have to do that. And it's hard to do if you're used to it just being there organically. So sometimes I find myself playing professional wrestler, which is one of the things I absolutely hate. So I've gotten better at it as time has gone by, but I think I actually kind of like shelled up a little bit when it came to my wrestling personality.
Diego, I want you to come in right now. Did you know some of the guys he was mentioning before?
Yeah, Kazushi Sakuraba is probably, one of the most notorious fighters to come out of Asia. He's got the nickname the Gracie Hunter or the Gracie Killer. Big name from Dream, Pride. Just if he's your favorite, you got a good list. Definitely.
And Diego loves wrestling. So I'm sure you have a question or two for Tom.
I want to know what your top wrestling entrance songs are, the themes.
100%. I'd say number 3 is the American Males theme song. Buff Bagwell.
Oh my God.
Briggs, the American Males. American Males. American Males. Yeah.
Okay.
There's also, let's see, number 2 would be 3 Count featuring Tank Abbott, also from WCW.
Yeah.
And the number 1 all-time theme is Slow Chemical, the Kane version that was very rarely used. So
I did not get Kane, but I do see that awesome drawing behind you that has Corporate Kane, the Big Red Machine, and then So it looks really cool.
Okay, Tom, now it is time to bring you into the hot seat. Are you ready, my friend?
Sure, I guess. Let's do it.
Just whatever pops in your head, go for it.
All
All right. Here we go. If you could eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be and why?
Brushing my teeth.
Whoa.
I hate to say it. I know.
Okay, now you're really solidifying your name as filthy.
I was so embarrassed to say it, but it's just, I mean, I'm like a little kid. I want the little kid toothpaste. Okay, my wife doesn't let me use it. I'm upset about it. I don't like brushing my teeth. It hurts. It's gross.
Okay.
It's embarrassing.
I love it. What do you think is the greatest invention of all time?
Me.
Yeah, you definitely were not shy as a kid, dude.
I mean, without me, I wouldn't be here, right?
All right, which TV sitcom would you most fit in as a main character?
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Ah, for sure.
Yeah,
I love
if that counts. If not, then I'll go into Seinfeld. But I'll probably be like Elaine's boyfriend, like David Puddy.
All right, and finally, what is your favorite knock-knock joke? They call it the hot seat for a reason.
Yeah, I am stumped.
Okay, I've got one for you.
All
Knock,
right.
knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Aren't you glad this hot seat is over?
Oh, yes, I am. I barely made it through, to be honest.
Look, we're going to have a lot of fun here in the PFL, and I can't wait to see you in the cage. What are you most looking forward to?
Honestly, you just said it. Like, I cannot wait to get in the cage. It is the most electrifying, liberating experience that I have ever had. I've done thrill rides all across the world. I've been in Black Hawk helicopters and shot a 50 caliber out of it, but there's not one thing that even comes close to capturing the feeling of being inside the cage. And, you know, my goal is to walk out of there the winner every time, but there's nowhere that I'd rather be win, lose, or draw than inside that cage.
And $1 million, what would that do for you?
I'd be the same person that I am right now. I mean, I guess I'd pay this house off, but I'd still be at the gym. I'd still work out every day. I don't know what else to do. You know, MMA has become not like a job, but I guess really it's become my life and my lifestyle. So sure, I'd love to have that $1 million. Maybe I'd buy a gold-plated Escalade with a picture of Lilian Garcia on the side, you know, diamond-studded. But I could probably still get that for like $500,000. So,
dude, it's been great having this conversation, getting to know you. I can't wait to finally meet you face to face. It's going to come sooner than later. But for now, I do want for people to follow you. So please let us know how we follow you on social media.
Yeah, check me out on Twitter and Instagram. Each of them have, you know, different things up there, different content. So I'm at Filthy Tom Lawlor, FILTHYTOMLAWLOR on Instagram and Twitter. And all the pertinent information that I'll have for the future will be up there on both mediums. So
awesome.
Check it out. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Tom. It's just really awesome to get to know you better. And again, wish you good luck. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us here on Prep Point. Make sure that you share this episode. Give us those thumbs up. And more than anything, subscribe. That's right, because next week we're going to have another interview for you, another person that's going to be stepping into the 2021 season cage, and you're going to get to know their story more. So until next week, we'll see you on Prep.